We must do our chores, otherwise the precious will get angry at us.
Yeah, that's how you know a game is fun, when it feels like I'm doing chores.
Well, you literally are doing chores, so right now
Meanwhile, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game that actually can make doing chores feel fun and intuitive.
there are a lot of games that can do that. It's all about how you do it. The thing is, with a game like this, it's one of those things where it's just like the game doesn't really do anything particularly. Whoa, where did all you guys come from?
Whoa, God, that water! Every time you
Like
look
you said,
underneath,
it's not exactly water in general.
The water doesn't even move when you're looking at it from below.
Okay, I guess Tio's implying maybe it's supposed to be blood, especially given
we were
how...
told that towards the end of the previous part, Joe. But essentially, it's a mixture between blood and shit.
Yeah, but that's the
That
thing.
being
I love
said,
how
it
there's.
still looks...
I love how the water has water effects on top, but below doesn't have any.
I will say this, regardless of what it is not exactly good for...
Did you notice how I died? Did you notice how I died?
Right?
He
He
died
died
in
straight away,
midair.
like no death animation or anything.
Like, okay, I get it.
Beautiful.
Gollum's supposed to be a fragile character, but come on, at least leave some...
Okay.
Collision.
Collision.
Witches are just coming out of the woodwork with this game.
This is one of those games where it's not like it's a Sonic 06 or Superman 64 type of affair. It's more of a death by 1,000 cuts type of scenario.
I would say I can see why some would call it the modern day Superman 64, though, like, granted, I guess at least the objectives are given clearer, so that's one thing it has over Superman 64.
Plus at least they're different enough, you're not just flying through rings.
So what you have to do is, again, you have to run away. Again, unlike your typical chase scene in a game like this, the camera is not dynamic, meaning not only do you have to run away from them, you also have to control the camera so you can see where the next spot you have to go is. Again, you'd think it would be like in an Uncharted chase sequence where the camera will change dynamically accordingly so we can always see ahead of us, but no, I have to constantly turn the camera around every time I curve because, again, the developers didn't bother putting in a dynamic camera system. Like,
you know, you would think that at the very least a camera that orientates itself proper to where you're moving to give you a good field of range of motion would be, you know, common sense in a game like this, but no, apparently we took that for granted.
this is their first time making a 3D game like this, and you can definitely see, and it definitely shows.
Now, again, I do wonder though, like, I get it, this game is terrible, but man, did the big higher-ups really have to kill Daedalic as a dev group because of them flunking out on a game, which was, mind you, the first time ever doing this type of game.
Sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, the investment was too much and not enough money to, you know, to keep things around.
But the problem is they took a big risk with this game, and it didn't have a fail-safe plan in case the whole thing failed. So
I'm still wondering how much of this is...
how the maker of I forgot its name, the game that essentially functions as a prequel to Shadow Hearts, was basically the composer of Squaresoft for the Mana games until that point, and
he mentioned Baggins. He said his name.
this is before too.
Go on.
No, I'm reading the dialogue. Okay. And he literally founded a company to make an RPG that, you know, would be relatively different for the time it was made. But because apparently it did not sold that much, you know, he immediately resigned after that, you know, and the company still survived for a while, but, you know, he himself basically was out after that one attempt. Sometimes it just happens, Jova.
Oh yeah, I get that. I am still weighing, though, how much of this was executive meddling or the dev team just not knowing what they were doing.
Probably both.
I really should give the What Happened video another look on this game, just to get some notes in order, but I will say this, though, like, I can definitely see how this game on its own killed them, because, yeah, no, this is the kind of Terrabad game that really just makes you go, no, just no. Like, I get that they were trying, but like Sakurai said in one of his awesome YouTuber videos about game development, just because you tried doesn't mean that the customer is obligated to pay. Like, yes, I'm sure the makers of Superman 64 really tried.
This isn't elementary school. You don't get a passing grade just because you tried.
Heck, even in elementary school, you weren't getting... Well, okay, depends on which grade.
You've never been in a private school, Jova, haven't you?
No. So...
Yeah, it's for the better.
So it's ironic. So the private schools went easier on the kids.
They
I guess,
really
to
don't
uphold
teach
the
you how life
reputation.
works, trust me.
The irony when
Oh,
public
okay.
school is actually a lot
So,
better.
lo and behold, okay, you want to talk about big glitches, Joe, but this is the part where I found my first big glitch.
Really? We've already been getting glitches, so I can't wait to see what a big one is.
Well, this is the first. Well, this is the first time where the game genuinely threw me completely off in terms of progressing, because there's a specific thing that was spawned in a place where it wasn't supposed to, and as a result, it.
I can already imagine, you know, the bigger scope of the presentation might have scared off. Because again, the room is very huge and the camera shows that you have to do a gajillion things. So I get the idea that already might be a bit of a deterrent. Usually for a platforming puzzle like this, the rooms have to be medium-sized tops in order, especially in the early game, in order to, you know, make sure that the player remembers everything.
It's that, and of course the fact that the controls are a bit janky doesn't help. No, that's exactly it. Like again, this was a game that, well, like, they like shouldn't have tried something like this. Like, at the very least, okay, if you wanted to do something like more, if you wanted to do something a bit more ambitious than the point-and-click adventure games you were making up until this point, start small. Start by making something like I don't know, like
Okay.
Go on.
Do we know for certain that they had complete say in doing this? Because for all we know, it could have been about where the parent company bought the rights to the IP and then said, "Hey, Daedalic, you're working on this game."
Well, last I checked, Daedalic only got purchased during the making of this game, if I remember correctly. Because before that, they were an independent company.
It might be more of a case, maybe the Tolkien estate dictated what the quality of the game should be like.
All right.
Possible,
Okay.
maybe that.
Let me elaborate. I'm talking like, you know, the big guys in suits at Daedalic purchased the IP and then gave, like, the lead dev company of Daedalic this project saying, all right, you guys work on this, make something incredible. Whether or not they were in and on that. I'm not saying that that's absolutely the case. I'm just wondering if it may be a case where the devs were put in a position that they weren't prepared for outside their own control.
So yeah, for this particular section, as far as I could tell, the only real way to, you know, pass through him is by just, you know, distracting, baiting him to someplace. The sad part is that, unlike some of the other stealth sections we're going to see ahead of this, there doesn't seem to be anything I can throw a rock at to distract him like you usually expect it to be. I guess I just have to, you know, bait him in general. So, whatever,
I mean,
moving on.
It seems that worked.
Oh yeah, sure.
You know, I guess that...
Hi.
It's funny, like, it says that orcs with a helmet he can't kill or choke. Like, okay, some helmets that actually cover the neck I get, but there are also some helmets we've seen in the game that don't cover the neck, so why can't he just strangle those guys?
Because because reasons. Moving on. Okay.
Like, my dudes, just make it so that everyone who has a helmet has, like, a neck covering thing, if you really want to go that way. Like, you know, that's the interesting thing. It's like Tio pointed out in a previous part. Even when this game could have an easy out, it writes itself into the corner. Again, special mention goes to that bit from this game's datalog that said, well, we don't know why the Nazgul captured and took Gollum here. It's like, so you actively admitted admitted you don't have an idea. Like, you would have actually been better off not specifying.
Instead, they try to purposefully build mystery, but because that poor phrasing.
I think I came across another bug here in this specific place, but hold on, give me a moment. Oh yeah, I can climb here just to see what the hell that guy is doing, but I don't know what he's doing. Moving on. So there's a helmet. Oh, I think it's... I'm not entirely certain what this thing is. The point is, I can turn off the light, and it distracts him. There you go. However, it seems like he's very quick on the draw, so I guess I have to be really fast when it comes to coming back. Okay, and now... Okay, so I just have to turn off the light again, I guess. Okay, sounds simple enough. And now, for some reason, the prop doesn't show up.
Yeah, I get the idea. It's a one-use kind of thing.
So, is there another way around him? Otherwise,
I guess I should just, you know, fuck it and just run, I guess. But let's try that again.
Oh, let me guess. Next time you try, it actually works multiple times.
I mean, there's not much point in making it a one-use thing because you can just restart a checkpoint anyway. So it's not like it makes it more challenging that way anyway. You can just abuse the checkpoint for that purpose.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, unless you're one of those high noble players who is like, oh, I'll know in my heart, nobody would really care. What?
No, I don't know what you're actually specifically referring to, Joe.
I'm referring to, you know, essentially, okay, you know, like, well, how, unless somebody feels like, oh, they've disgraced themselves by using the save scumming maneuver, I don't see them really being hurt by having to just reload a checkpoint, which begs the question, why make that thing a one-time use? It's not inherently challenging because
maybe at one point, you know, it was supposed to be playing in a different direction.
And yeah, we're in the shadows like that. Gollum's body turns completely black. Like so.
Negative.
That is weird. Go on to you.
Maybe at some point in the development he was supposed to have a better use, and we just kept it like that. You know,
that
it happens all the time with games that repurpose. You'll have you know, a plot changed at the last second, or you know, different environment where an item that was supposed to have one function gets to have another, but keeps the properties that it used to have. Dark Souls games are chock full of that.
I get that the game's going for a creepy atmosphere, but it doesn't even really feel like it's pulling that off well. Granted, that may just be due to the bog standard visuals.
Alright, moving on. And here we go. This is the section that made me literally want to pull my hair out. Why? Because the game decided to bug out and just fuck me over, as you're about to see. So let's take a stone. The stones, the stones are used to throw at things to make noise to distract guards during stealth sections like these. Okay, so let's take a look at this particular section. This section is the bane of my existence. Okay, so let's take a stone. Take another stone. So we have 3 stones now. Okay, so there's a guard over there at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. You can only see, like, because he's a bit in the shadows because of the lighting, right? But you can see there's a guard there. In fact, let's try and distract him.
Right, throw the stone on the dome.
Gollum apparently isn't a very good thrower because he needs to be really... Oh, there you go. Okay.
No response.
And look at how the game is even telling me. Throw stones to distract guards. So that's what I'm doing, game. So what the hell?
Is there anything else to throw the stone?
Take a wild guess, Joe. What is wrong with this picture?
It bugged out, didn't it?
Well, yeah, but how specifically? I've already told you that it did.
Supposed to move, but didn't.
That is true too. Now you're probably wondering why. Let's see.
It didn't register the collision.
Nope. In fact, I'll just
when you go by him.
I'll just let you guys watch until you figure out, because basically what you're going to see a bit of me trying to figure this stuff out, because I wanted to show this is such an outrageous bug that I wanted to make sure I show it off in the playthrough, because this shit is just inexcusable.
And just to be sure, is this a consistent bug, or is
It's not a consistent bug because I've looked into other playthroughs on YouTube and they didn't run into this shit like me. So I guess it's just one of those freak occurrences. Even still, though, like the
it
fact
still is a sign of how unstable. the
yeah,
game is.
because this kind of thing is just like, how do you even screw this up? And you'll see exactly what I mean. Okay, so I can even hit it on my own without even roll, just to make sure I make noise. And as you can see, the guard is completely deaf. Apparently, I don't. Hey. Game, you just told me to make noise to distract the guard. You even put this like, what the fuck? Like,
Wow.
am I in the Twilight Zone? I'm literally doing what the game told me, and nothing's happening.
You know, maybe the game was actually programmed by Gollum himself. That would certainly make sense as to why it's this erratic.
Oh yeah, so this is basically because Smeagol and Gollum have been fighting over who gets to program the game, and that's why the programming is a mess. Okay, that explains a lot, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'd be amazed if he
And yeah.
used computer programming. So
Oh.
can you at least...
Come
Wait,
on.
now you turn around?
It's because I got near him and he noticed me. So okay, I guess I have to go through here. No, trust me. You're going. I tried going through there. It's a dead end. So
Why did they even place the guard there?
That's exactly the point, Joe. But this is where I break it to you. Okay, here's where the guard is actually supposed to be. The guard is supposed to be in the spot where you can see the light. In fact, I think I'm about to go there real quick. Yeah, the guard is supposed to be here in this specific spot. So you're supposed to throw the rock so that the guard will go see, and then you climb this particular wall that you can see on the left. But you'll forgive me for not noticing that, because silly me, I thought that silly me. Considering the guard is not supposed to be there, I thought maybe there would be something. Okay, obviously this means that I can actually very easily climb the wall since the guard is not where he's supposed to be. So this technically is making things easier for me, technically. But you also have to understand.
You don't know because
The problem-
of the
yeah.
base logic of the game that you think that that's where you're supposed to go with the card.
You specifically told me, game, to throw stones at the thing to distract the guard. You specifically told me to do that.
And the amazing thing is, the guard wasn't even responding prior.
So, yeah.
The game put that was so bad that
So,
it not only
yeah.
means that the guard didn't respond properly, but it placed him in the wrong area.
So basically, so the basic idea is the guard was supposed to be on that wall, right there, and you're supposed to throw the stone. And as you can see, even if I restart from the last checkpoint, he doesn't spawn back. I have to restart the level because the game actually has two options. It has to restart from the last checkpoint, and it also has to restart the level in general. But I'm not, so I could restart the level to get the guard on the correct position so you guys can see, but you know what? I don't want to play this game any more than I need to, so fuck it. I'm just gonna move on. I just wanted to showcase this so you guys can get a good idea of what I'm talking about, because trust me, I went for like a total of like 15 minutes stuck here because I didn't notice. Granted, this also is a bit on me because yes, that wall is clearly painted for me to climb, so I should have just tried to climb it anyway. Even still, though, you'll forgive me for getting sidetracked, because again, the game literally told me in white text to throw the rock at the thing to distract the guard. So silly me, I thought maybe that was required, maybe.
Okay,
Which again, under normal circumstances, it is, but because of the bug, it's not. It's not now. Go on.
Okay, but how you're supposed to progress then?
By climbing the wall too. You'll see. You'll see. Hold on. Basically, what I'm showing you right now.
Just came back from the way you came.
I know, Taylor. What you're seeing right now, Taylor, is me confused as to what I'm supposed to do. That's what I'm just bumbling around, hopelessly looking for an answer right now. But I just wanted to explain this because I got stuck in here for like 15 minutes, and I had to go check Wishing to Call's playthrough of this game. And then when I noticed that the guard was actually in a different spot, I was like, "Oh my god, seriously?"
Isn't that the same person that made the electoral track run? I forgot.
No. You're thinking of
confusing myself.
that's Tiffany. Wishing to Call is a YouTube Let's Play who does non-commentary recordings of games.
No, because I remember you mentioned the user in the past.
Yes, Fairfence Ref, when I used some of her footage for some of the alternate stuff in Fairfence, so I didn't have to replay the game a million times. You know. There you go. I think it's that Tail. You're supposed to climb here. However, Tail, the guard is supposed to be where Gollum is right now. You see why I got confused? Because the game, you're supposed to distract the guard from that wall so you can climb it. But the game decided to spawn the guard over there for some reason, and the game allowed me. And technically this is making things easier for me. It is true, but you'll forgive me if the game told me to distract the guard, so I was trying my hardest to distract the guard. You know.
Hold on.
Fun game. I guess I won't. Fun game. I guess I won't follow your instructions anymore because you're unreliable. Go on, Jova.
Hold on. So you were going up the wall that last time, but then restarted for some reason.
Because I wanted to respawn all my health because I got hurt. It's okay. Whatever. Like I didn't lose any progress because my checkpoint checkpoint is right here. So whatever.
So what got you to finally check that out, or is this after you had checked the?
This is after I checked out. What you're seeing is an edited version of what actually happened because I was stuck in there for like 15 minutes because I got completely thrown off.
All right, I guess we found
what I reckon. I encourage everybody, not just my commentators, but even the audience listening to this, by all means, go check other people's playthroughs, and you'll see where the guard is actually supposed to be, so you can confirm what I'm saying.
Trust you by word, Pedro, don't worry.
Because when I saw that in Machine Tikal's playthrough, I was pissed.
I mean, the thing is, if you're not telling the truth, then that just means that the game was incompetent enough to put a guard in a dead end. That would essentially just make it too easy. So, like, it only makes logical sense that originally the guard is supposed to be there. Otherwise, that just means the game's even more broken than we already thought.
Obviously. That's why I'm encouraging people to... I mean, it wouldn't even make any sense for me to try to lie about this, because people can very easily go to YouTube on their own and verify whether or not I'm telling the truth or not, so... Trying to lie about this would be pointless on my part.
Like, I absolutely get why the only game that has challenged this game as worst game of the year is the King Kong game. And even still, the King Kong game looks pretty cheap, so... I mean,
from what I've seen of King Kong game, the King Kong game looks even cheaper and worse than this. From what I've seen,
that was better. The team was literally forced to make it in just a few months.
Whereas this, at the very least, at least had a couple years. I think it was announced in 2019. I think.
I do not know this. I don't know if given enough time, the dev would have managed to make up good work. But I can at least give them the benefit of the doubt.
This is more typical. The guards are actually supposed to be there. See, what I was supposed to do there was something similar to this, where I'm supposed to use my rock to destroy that light thingy. Come on. Yeah, probably not.
We can hit them.
We can, but I'm pretty sure that will. But I'm pretty sure unlike that's the sad part too, that I will still take the mental capacity of these two over David, but
but I'm wondering if the idea is to like hit one of them in the head with a rock.
No. You're supposed to hit the light. You're supposed to hit the light to distract the guard. Because if you hit one of the guards in the rocks, you'll know where you are and it'll just come and kill you.
A good stealth game Java will make sure that if you hit them with a rock, you're not technically killing them, but they will believe that the other hit them, and as a result of it, will be busy fighting each other, letting you go through.
Come on.
Like, again, I'm not even a game. I'm not a game developer, but I can come up with good excuses in 2 or 3
There you go. By destroying that light, now there's a lot more shadow for me to hide in. So there you go.
That was actually my first thought to you. It was like, you hit him with a rock, and then the other will blame the other, and then you can pass through. Like, at the very least, have multiple ways of going through. It's insane how incredibly linear and scripted this game can be at times, even to its own detriment.
Which wouldn't be necessarily a problem if the scripting didn't bug out like it did for me in that previous section. But
keep in mind, it's a game that won't even let you backtrack on a way that would make sense to go back and forward to. I'm talking about the parkour thing from earlier. Where
the parkour, sure, I guess.
Over that thing.
Sure. I mean, when it comes to a game not allowing you to backtrack, Last Garden doesn't allow you to backtrack, so it's one of those things where it's just it depends on the game. A linear game can be fine. Go on.
I'm strictly talking about sections where you should be able to backtrack mechanically.
Sure. Alright, so now we should be able to just go through here and not be seen by anybody.
Geez, with all this, you'd think Gollum is actually going to make his escape.
Gee, it's not like we already know how Gollum dies or anything.
Well, okay, they're actually technically, apparently that's part of a plan, because the bearded guy did told him to reach the Rattler. This is not actually part of making the chore kind of bit. Gollum is apparently reaching this place, which is apparently like the guard's nest. And I'm guessing here it either contains something that's vital to allow him then to escape or something similar to that.
I don't know why, it's just the whole thing feels so padded that anything not being an escape would feel like a waste of time, but, you know, maybe they will have something for it. It's just that...
I noticed something else, however, you know, especially compared to the beginning of the game. You know, I get the idea that the situation might be, you know, not that favorable, but Gollum is surprisingly restrained in these sections.
What do you mean?
You think that he will talk more, you know, think more for himself and, you know,
yeah,
and stuff like that, but no, he doesn't for some reason.
I'm guessing they didn't want Gollum to be talking all the time because some players might find that annoying.
I mean, if there's one character that makes sense that he will do that, it's him.
Oh yeah.
I don't ask him to be Bubsy, you know, but something more that will also... a mechanic like that could also help, you know, in asserting better the puzzle of a room. Something like, what should I do, or something similar to that.
Not only that, but if they were worried about players being annoyed by that, voice toggle. There you go.
Yeah, even the recent Bubsy games have that.
It's just like, again,
Oof,
you know, the lack...
ragdoll.
Honestly, the lack of voice... Jesus, he literally dies ass up. But, wait, actually it looks like he's praying to God with that pose.
Yeah, it's doing the...
And there you go.
Wait, you didn't even need shadows to get past those two.
Those two are prisoners, they're not guards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, like, Tail raises a good point. Like, I think the lack of voice acting from Gollum also makes these feel so padded, where it's just awkward silence.
Wondering,
so
this
much.
is the siege ramp that will be used in the war against Minas Tirith. I guess it's cool the fact that we get to see it when it was under construction. I guess there's that.
That one, yes. How do we get there?
See, that's the thing, Joe. If I want to go back to just say one more thing about that stupid section that bugged out for me. But let's think about this even from a basic game design standpoint. Why would you, as a developer, put the guard right there, like in a pointless corner with nothing in it? It's like he's been put in the corner by Sauron or something.
Is it possible that there were supposed to be two guards and the one in the place instead of just being spawned?
No, there's only one.
Did not spawn at all.
I looked it up too. It's only one guard in that particular bit. Like there's it's as simple as the fact that the guard spawned where he wasn't supposed to spawn to, and as you saw, restarting for the last checkpoint doesn't fix it. I had to restart the level from the beginning
I
wanted to fix
it. I was wondering if it was a case of more rather than just one thing.
No, trust me, Theo. Trust me, Theo. I had Vanessa had to hear me screaming for a bit when I saw wishing to cause run and find out what the fuck I was doing wrong.
Well, the adventure continues in the next part, I guess.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.